What's up everyone, welcome back to another video. FPL Harry here again to talk you through my latest Game Week 12 wildcard team. I have officially made the change from FPL Tips to FPL Harry, and I will be getting the football graphic updated for you all there, but I haven't had quite time to do that. Let me know what you think of the introduction. If you are liking the changes, please do drop it in the comments down below, leave a like on the video, and if you are new, of course, consider subscribing to the channel for weekly videos, streams, and everything like that. Useful tips to get you the best rank possible you can this season. But let's dive into my latest draft for my wildcard, which I am playing, is active over the international break. So in goal, we start with Ramsdale and Foster. I'm pretty set on going Ramsdale. I did consider going with Gaeta of Crystal Palace, who do have a really nice fixture run and are in quite good form defensively. But for me, Ramsdale is just the best set and forget goalkeeper. Arsenal have been top form defensively this season and were third highest for the best XGC last season. So they were third best for expected goals conceded, basically. So I still think they have a really good chance of keeping a lot of clean sheets this season, despite having a few tricky fixtures on the horizon. Now, to go with him is our favourite cycling GK, Ben Foster, 4.1 million. Saved a penalty at the weekend, is the cheapest starting goalkeeper, so he can sit on my bench. If anything ever happens to Ramsdale, it doesn't mean that I'm left in the lurch. Foster can very easily come in and play as my backup. First up in defence, we have João Cancelo of Manchester City. 6.2 million for me as a selling price, but 6.4 million for you all if you are buying him. He may even have risen up to 6.5 now. Manchester City have a great run of fixtures over Christmas. Cancelo has shown what he can do with clean sheets, but also the attacking threat he has with 2 assists in game week 11 as well. So happy I've got him in. No chance he's leaving my team. Next up, we have Ben Chilwell coming in at 6 million. So again, Chelsea have looked really good defensively. Both their wing backs in Chilwell and Reece James have looked great. Attacking potential on top of those clean sheets. So 6 million is a lot, but I still really like him as an option. Next up, of course, Trent Alexander-Arnold showed his FPL potential again with a goal and assist and a massive haul in game week 11. 7.6, 7.7 million is still a good price to pay with him. The clean sheets and attacking threat he can add. Cancelo and Chilwell also have this. The premium defenders are well and truly in this season. I'm very happy that I've got Trent in my lineup now. And finally, in the defence, we have Reece James out of the premiums. We have one more option, but the final premium we've got is Reece James. Now, I still think Chelsea look really good defensively. The fixtures are not as great going forward, but at the moment, I've got double Chelsea defence because the attacking threat they have is more than I could get if I added a second Manchester City option with Diaz, for example, or if I added another Liverpool option with Robertson or Van Dijk. The double Chelsea combo is cheaper and it gives me more attacking threat as well. So at the moment, James and Chilwell are the ones I've gone with. And finally, of course, to complete the defensive lineup is Livramento of Southampton. 4.5 million. He has risen a lot, and I'm very sad that I had to pay the sort of max price that I have done now and didn't quite pick him up for 4 million. But he's still really good. That Southampton defense looks much more assured. They're not scoring a lot of goals, which means they have to stop the opponent scoring goals if they want to get any points. And Livramento also is good for bonus points and the occasional attacking return. So that is my big at the back system: Chelsea, Man City, Liverpool, Southampton, with an Arsenal goalkeeper behind him. Now into the midfield, the first one we've got is Jota. Now Mane did go off injured last night for Liverpool, but it sounds like he'll be back for game week 12. However, with Firmino out injured for sort of the next 4 to 6 weeks, it seems that Jota will be nailed to play up front for Liverpool, and at 7.5 million as a forward, that was just too good to turn down. I really like him as an option. If you don't own him, I think he's a great player to go buying into your teams this week as well. Next up, we have Son. Now, Tottenham have hopefully a new manager bounce coming, although as a Chelsea fan, I maybe don't want that quite so much. But 10.3 million is a lot for a team that haven't had a shot on target in the Premier League for about 3 games. But I'm just banking on the next run of fixtures being what they need to turn their form around. I think he may go and play up front in a 3-5-2. The 3-4-3 hasn't been working quite that well, so I think Son may go up front with Harry Kane. And 10.3 million, I'm taking a bit of a gamble on Son, but given their fixtures that they've got, I think it's a worthwhile gamble. And next up in the midfield, of course, is Mo Salah, the best player, the most essential player for me in FPL at the moment. My captain almost every week. There's not much that needs to be said about him. If you're wildcarding, of course, Salah is going to be in there, especially with the injury to Firmino, means he's almost nailed to play every single game for Liverpool over the Christmas period. Now, next up, we add Phil Foden, 8.3 million. So a bit more expensive than maybe some of those cheap options in Smith Rowe, Gallagher that we may talk about in a moment. But Manchester City, as I said, with Cancelo, have a really nice fixture run. They also have the form in front of goal. They'll score a lot of goals, and Foden at the moment is playing as a false 9 in that lineup. So if I can get an 8.3 million false 9, or even if when he goes out on the wing, I think he's in the first choice lineup at the moment. Pep loves him. His ability is crazy. It's a lot of money. I want to find a place for him in my lineup given their run of fixtures over the Christmas period. Now, finally, we've got Gallagher. Now, this was either Gallagher or Smith Rowe, but the Arsenal fixtures over the next sort of 6 weeks are quite difficult, and I think Gallagher's returns are more sustainable. Smith Rowe has been scoring a lot of long-range goals, whereas Gallagher's been in and around the box a lot of the time. I feel like his attacking returns are more sustainable. He's also on set pieces where Milivojevic isn't on the pitch as well, so I really like him as an option, and he completes what is a very premium and a very strong both defence and midfield as well. We'll see how I'm going to afford that in just a moment. So up front, the first one we've got is Antonio. Now, I have considered selling Antonio, but I have so much money in him that if I sold him, I'd only get 7.8. And when I want to buy him back in about 5 weeks' time when the West Ham fixtures get good again, I'd have to pay a lot more. So I don't really want to go selling him. And none of the other forwards are particularly scoring any goals at the moment. So why would I want to go selling Antonio, who I still think is the best forward to own at the moment at his price? Next up, the bench fodder that we have is Keenan Davies at 4.4 million. He'll sit last on my bench every week. He occasionally gets a substitute appearance for Aston Villa, but that's about all that I need to say about him. And finally, we have Callum Wilson of Newcastle. So 7.3 million, but with a new manager in charge, I do think there's a good chance that the old, maybe Bournemouth attack, the Bournemouth Wilson that we knew, could come back. And at 7.3 million, given that they have Burnley, Brentford and Norwich in their next 4 fixtures, I think is a great option to go for Wilson. He's a really big differential that maybe not that many people are considering buying this week. But while I'm on my wildcard, I really want to take the opportunity to get him in. Now, this team must look great to you all, but the issue is, there's 1.5 million in the bank. Now, I didn't want to take one person out because it would be misleading. Effectively, where I am with my wildcard is I have this team leaving me with 1.5 million in the bank, but I basically have to find where I want to save that 1.5 million. I have one too many players that I want to start every week. So I bench Davies, and then Gallagher and Livramento rotate really well. So I'll be benching one of them every week. But effectively, I then also have to bench one of the other sort of players that I have in my team at the moment. So is it James, Chilwell, Cancelo, Trent, Salah, Jota, Son, Foden or Wilson, Antonio? One of those can't start for me every week, and the one that I don't think is the strongest option out of all of those will be where I decide to free up my money. So in terms of the options that I've got, there is really 4 that I'm considering. I could do James or Chilwell, so either of them down to Lamptey of Brighton. Go less big at the back. The Chelsea fixtures are not as strong as they potentially were. Lamptey has a lot of attacking threat now that he's back. He's playing right wing back or even on the right midfield as well. So 4.4 million, I do really like him. Next up, although I said Smith Rowe, I don't think he's that sustainable in terms of returns. I could do Jota to Smith Rowe as a first bench option if I don't think Jota's going to be nailed for the foreseeable future. If I think that Firmino will be back in maybe 3-4 game weeks time, then I may do this move. And then up front, I could do Wilson and Antonio, either of them out to the likes of Pukki or Hwang to again be a really nice first bench option for me every week in case any of my starting 11 don't play. Now, Wilson could go to Pukki, Antonio could go to Hwang, so it doesn't necessarily mean to be in that order, but these are probably the 4 ways that I'm considering freeing up that extra 1.5 million for my team. So this is where we are at the moment, but I will be looking to free up a little bit more money to finalize this wildcard team over the international break. Let me know in the comments down below which of these 4 options you would go with for your team. Which would you switch? Who would you downgrade? Let me know where you would free up the money in the comment section down below. While you are down there, leave any questions about your teams, as well as do like and subscribe to the channel. We've passed 13,000 subscribers. We've completely rebranded the channel. I hope you're enjoying the new graphics as well, the intro and the outro that's to come. Let me know your thoughts on those in the comment section down below. But I hope you have enjoyed. There'll be videos and everything coming now that the Game Week 12 deadline is just 1 week away. I hope you have enjoyed. Please do like and subscribe before you go, and I will see you all very soon.